Villainous beats, villainous beats, villainous beats. Villainous beats, villainous.
In the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black. In the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black. Imagine that, a future that's super black. Long as your skin brown, your superpowers intact. What would your powers be? Just hope it ain't super whack. Spatial manipulation, create a portal that's black. Maybe just super speed, time travel to run it back. Or cheat manipulation to keep my spirit intact. As I encounter evils the world face, demons the world makes, I'm needed the world at stake. Rest in peace to Chadwick, they killed all the Black Panthers. Told us white lies, I still marvel at black answers. Suits in DC, pray it lead to a civil war. It ain't no Justice League, what's the need to be civil for? Propelled like the juggernaut, it's clear ain't no stopping this. The world in grave danger, who can stop the apocalypse? They killed all the heroes, the new ones don't really care. But if you need me, put your fist up in the air. Yeah, in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black. In the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black.
Yo, what's happening? Hey, everybody, what's going on? It's your man on the wall, Chris Fury, back with another episode of Blurred's Eye View on this Thursday afternoon. I hope everybody's doing well. It is, I'm counting down the hours. It's your man's birthday on this Friday, so I'm just letting you know. If I'm not as active starting tomorrow, then I'm out partying somewhere. But who knows? I'll probably be doing more work for the show to bring you guys more great content as usual. But until then, let's get our guests in here. We have Shakirah Gatling and her husband, Tarek. What's going on? We starting a little different today.
How you doing?
What's going on? So for those who are not in the know, Shakirah's been on the show before. She was talking about her book, Malika, and her great adventures, because let's face it, these type of things with Black women in sci-fi and fantasy is it's big. I'm just saying it's a big thing. It's a story. It's stories that need to be told. But we're gonna be talking about that really, really shortly. Yo, wait, wrong. No, yeah, it was. That was Babyface Nelson and Chris Fury that you seen in the intro. That was Babyface Nelson. You're not gonna see him again. It's too. That was a time. It was a moment. Man, what's going on with you two? What's going on? How was your week? How was your month? How was the last time you've been on? I know you've been busy, Lioness Entertainment and everything else. So what's been going on with you?
Yes, we have been busy. So my kids' spring break started on Friday. It's still going on this week. And so last week we took off to go to my book signing on Saturday, which was in West Orange, New Jersey. It was amazing. We had so much love and support from family and friends and strangers, just kind of popping in like, oh, what's going on? This one kid legit came to the door.
Black Spark?
That's my guy right there.
How y'all doing?
With that baby, so cute.
Thank you kindly.
No headband today? You gonna have a headband today?
No, today it looks like I'm in between locticians right now. So
that happened.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, trust me,
I don't know. I don't know.
I need to start wearing my band because he's starting in that grabbing stage. So I kind of have to cut my beard down and pull my hair back. He's found a way to grab
that kid is quick. That kid is quick.
Mm-hmm. Oh, them infant strength is unmatched because they quick and they grip. So it's just like, and especially if you got them on your chest, you like this the whole time, and your beard is down here. It's like,
yeah.
You want to cut it all off.
What is this?
But then they get mad when you take it away from them. Like, how dare? It's part of me. You are a part of me, but you can't have this.
Yeah. My son, when I would have him up here, he would just suck on my lock. I would just hear smacking after a while. I'm like, oh, he's so quiet. And next thing I hear, and now my lock is soaking wet because he just been on my shoulder, gnawing at my hair. And I'm like, I have to put it to this side.
Oh my god!
Right here, put it all over here.
Yeah, between infant strength and grabbing, and they have very powerful fists. You don't realize those haymakers. They come. They like,
no, what kills me is the leg part. When you get that pamper on, and that leg just it's just a retraction. It's like. And then you try to put your hand, down there, trying to like, okay, I need you to stay put for 1 second. And you're like, you are really pushing back against my hand.
That's that. Yeah, he said the baby beard pools ain't no joke. You right?
Right.
Like this is unnatural. Mm-hmm. So you got infant strength, you got old man strength, because when you get to a certain age, you only have a certain window.
That's that strength when you get challenged. That's like nope, you ain't.
That's that. You're like hour man minus the hour. You're just like
that's those days when you thought you could challenge the old. That's that day you think you can challenge your old man. It's like he just sitting there like, oh.
I've been waiting for this day.
I can do it. Oh, wait a minute. Oh,
yeah.
When your dad gives you boxing gloves and says, "Here you go. Where your helmet at? Where your helmet?" I'm not gonna need it.
I only need a few moments.
No, there was no gloves and no nothing.
Just a few minutes. That's all I need is a few minutes.
Man, look.
30 seconds tops. You feel like Robert Downey Jr. when he was in Sherlock Holmes. You lining up all your shots. See which one is gonna connect first. You be like, if I take him out now, that'll save my back and some wind. So yeah, it's child raising is a mother. But it's also a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Yeah.
You realize things that your parents used to talk about, and then you say, "Oh, that's what they meant."
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And greatest advice: sleep when the baby sleeps. I laughed at that. I don't laugh no more.
Sleep when the baby sleeps, and start you always wonder, like at baby showers, why they gave you so many Pampers. There's no way. There's no way. And then like that first pallet is gone. You're just
a little pamper cake, like all these towers of diapers. Like, yeah, you're gonna need all those.
We got what they call diaper genie, right? So we got one of them things. Now, I'm amazed, number one, how many diapers my son can go through. Because I was like, I didn't think about it until I decided to go check it one day. I was like, oh, diaper genie's kind of clogged up. I said, all right, let me take the bag out. And I was like, this was just 1 week.
We had 2 in diapers at the same time.
Yeah, because you guys have twins, correct?
Ooh.
No, they're 15.
Or they just close in age.
Just close in age.
Just close in age. Yeah, it's. Whew.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know how you like generally grocery shop for your house. And you're like, I need this, and then this will last me for a couple of weeks, and
yeah, exactly.
Diapers is the only thing they were just like, I'm gonna give me like a whole box of diapers. I'm gonna go to the big box stores and get me a whole thing of diapers.
Yeah.
And be solid for at least a week, and then get that call, honey, can you grab some? I just did.
My personal favorite. I said, you know what? I'm going to Costco and get me at least 2 pallets. And I just hear a whole bunch of old heads just start laughing like, this is your first child, isn't it? I was like, yeah. It was evil. It was like,
yeah.
It's like,
this is your first
evil and welcome to the club. So many levels. So many levels.
That was the part that killed me, was the laughing at it. Yeah. That was like, you'll learn. Wait a minute. You ain't gonna laugh and walk off.
Like, tell me now.
But no, I don't
it's literally that episode of Martin when he has to go shopping with Gina, and that man is sitting up there. He's like, no, you can't have this spot. You can't have these magazines. I've been here all day. You're not getting none of this.
Oh man.
But yeah, fatherhood, parenthood in itself is amazing. It has its ups. It's more ups than anything. Everything else is just confusing.
Yeah.
It's really no downs. It's just ups and confusion. You're not upset. You're just like confused. You find yourself making this face a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Especially when they go in those teenage years and stuff.
Oh man.
Oh, I'm not that. Oh.
That's not right.
Like, why is this sock? You know what? I don't want to know.
It's like, to me, it's like they say, and I know, speaking from new parents, experienced parents here, they say that the child is supposed to be a representative of you as you get older. So your parents could be like, your turn.
Yeah, it's literally
if
that
I'm
vibe.
petty now,
It's that vibe.
He gonna be. I see a lot of school trips in my future. Just
you
know what your son said today? Nope, but I can guess.
Black Spar's gonna be like, yeah, just hit me with it.
because
he's gonna have a notebook. He's just like, yeah, that checks. All right.
You know what's gonna be? It's gonna be that when they do great, Shakirah, no offense, but when they do great, they're mama's children. When they're terrible, oh, you want to know what your children did today? I was like, oh, so when they're terrible, they're mine. But when you praise them, their angels are yours. All right, cool. I accept that. I ain't gonna argue that.
It's.
I don't know how that happens. It's just that's destiny.
It's destiny.
I accept it because you know why? Y'all brought them into this world, so that's the one thing I want to argue about. It's like y'all brought them into this world so you can claim position. So
yeah, it's a thing.
We have a flashback to that moment where we're like, yep, that's my baby that just got straight A's. My baby.
Right. Say all the brains came from you.
Like, oh, see, I knew it. I knew he could do it.
Right. Oh my God. So there's been some news that's been dropping lately.
Oh yeah.
And it's actually quite interesting. This first piece of news, I don't know why they went this route, but we'll talk about it. So we'll get right into it. HBO Max as of next month, I want to say, I think at the end of next month, will be no more. It's weird to say this.
Mm-hmm.
Being divorced.
It's they're just gonna go with the term max. Considering that is odd to me.
It's weird. It's like the kid that it's like if Future's kid wanted to adopt Russell Wilson's last name but still wanted to make it his own. That's how weird it is.
Yeah.
That's weird.
I'm not understanding like the reasoning behind it.
Right.
But it's off.
Why not just stick with HBO?
The email about this?
No.
I got an email about that. I got an email.
They just, so basically the new app will offer content from HBO Max and Discovery and will bid to drive growth as linear TV declines.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, regular television is going down,
Yeah.
It's not, you have streaming services that are soon to take place. Cable I think it's starting to really decline, like really fast or faster than normal.
Like CDs and DVDs and stuff.
Yeah, so will it ever go away? I don't think so.
Not because you're still gonna have that older generation that still wants a cable box. You're always gonna have that. But but like you said, everything these days is going to streaming, and as more people are learning and content becomes the new digital currency now. So they're all going to start. I'm not gonna start putting up their digital footprints, but that's what's gonna happen. And Warner Brothers Discovery. It was bound to happen that they were going to merge HBO Max, and Discovery. Why they decided to call it Max, I don't know. I personally would want a different name, just because nobody wants to sit there and say, "What do you stream?" "Oh, I stream on Max."
Yeah,
it doesn't roll. I stream on Showtime or Stars or XYZ of any streaming app that you watch. No one gets excited about hearing the streaming place called Max. It sounds
it's weird because you're still getting the same level of content.
Yeah.
Plus Discovery plus shows.
For all those that want to watch TLC, I guess.
Yeah, but they still could have just left it alone. I feel like.
Yeah, you could have
like Max could be Cinemax. Like, Cinemax has a streaming service. I don't know.
I think they do. I mean, I think one of the reasons why cable won't actually go away is one, yes, like you said, Black Spartan, you still have an older generation who they may not even have those type of smart TVs that can stream.
I don't want the government watching what I watch.
You're definitely going to hear that conversation. And then on top of that, Wi-Fi, your buffering and everything else. So, when you can just immediately let's face it, older generations, they don't really watch what we watch.
Yeah.
They're stuck with. You know what? I'm gonna watch this black and white serial of Gunsmoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bonanza.
And they'll be fine with that.
Look, my parents are a shining example. To this day, Dish Network will forever be in business because of my two parents. They refuse anything streaming. We got them on a streaming service for 1 month. My parents called each of us saying, "I can't get on this Hulu. Where's my Rated Love show on Hulu?" We could put it up for the world to see.
What's the password? So then I press what?
Exactly. And I remember one day my old man said, "You know what?" My old man used to say, "Give me back my Dish." Because Dish had all my channels right where I liked them.
Yeah.
I know.
My mother-in-law is like that. Like I was trying to. She has Roku. She has a Roku television, and she was. I was trying to add a channel for her on there, and I said, "Well, what's your 4-digit password?" I don't know, and I'm like, "Well, how did you get the other channels?" and I'm like, it must be my son who doesn't live here, live in the city. He lives in Columbus, so I'm like, it must be my son. He's the only one I could think of who would have the code, because no one else has the code.
Oh, it's just
birthday, maybe, I don't know.
but you know what? At any other time, let me show you this channel I found, and it's an app that you swore but now wasn't on there before. That somehow between there and now just magically appeared, and they can work it like nobody's business.
She's literally the same woman that before she moved in with us, she called me and my son up. She had a VHS tape, and she was asking how to hook it up, and we're like, we had to stop and ask her, like, wait, what are you trying to do? And she was like, oh, I got this tape. I'm like, where did you get a tape from?
Listen, I was just looking at tape at my parents' house. So we were staying with my parents when we went up to New Jersey, and they had my VCR still over there, and a bunch of my tapes, and a bunch of my old DVDs and stuff. They still have them over there. I was like, I'm gonna take my VHS one day.
Last time I had a VHS, what Angel was on?
Last time I saw VHS, UPN was still a black thing.
Yeah. That clicks. That's about right. So
I had all my music videos, on my VHS tapes.
Everything minus the commercials.
Right.
I remember recording Mantis on VHS.
Jesus.
I was like, wait, Mantis, Nightman, Viper?
Not Nightman. Yo, Malibu Comics.
It came on Tsunami and stuff.
Oh my God.
Got to take all the commercials out.
Man.
The 90s for mainly the 90s for UPN / I think they were going by WB at the time too. It was like UPN WB. It's sort of like Cartoon Network. Like at a certain time, it switches over to Adult Swim. It was just like a certain time switch over to Adult Swim, and it was the same thing with UPN. And like certain times or like certain days of the week, they switch over to WB. And you'd be like when you said Nightman and Viper and Knight Rider. I can't remember what that Knight Rider version was called.
The Team Knight Rider. That was the Noxie. That was the knockoff that came on. This is really gonna be showing my age. That was the knockoff that came on at 2:30 in the morning on NBC.
That one.
Like if you were up at Saturday night at 2:30 in the morning, it came on. And if you're like me at 11 years old, it's like I'm up. That's like might as well watch it.
As a kid, you thought it was like, oh, there's a team of Knight Riders now. But wasn't the goal of one to solve that entire job? Now you need a squad of cars.
I kind of felt like that was a downside with all four vehicles. I was like, wait a minute, did Ford literally sponsor Knight Rider and we all didn't pay attention?
Yes.
Like, wait a minute, Ford
sponsored Knight Rider and Viper, and because that's when that car was coming out. Like Viper.
That's right.
That was their long form commercial.
Because technically, didn't Dodge sponsor Kung Fu Legend Continues because they kept on showing Dodge? They kept on showing old boys Dodge.
Yes. Yeah.
Listen, they got to make money too.
Yeah, they did it.
They
I mean, because Chevrolet, because let's be honest, Chevrolet was the only one that had a commercial because they had that jingle. They had that soulful. I just found a guy on Sunday jingle. You know that like a rock. And you heard that part.
Oh, like a rock.
That's all you got.
Strong as I can be.
Oh my God! So yeah, there's
Yeah, right there, boy.
boy, the stuff they got away with us in the 90s. It's
You're
like
done.
you're gonna eat this
Nothing else,
content.
I remember all the jingles from the 80s and 90s. Like I might not remember the show, I might not remember what they were selling in the commercial, but I remember them jingles. You know, I remember those songs and stuff.
But real quick, for Mentos, wasn't every Mentos just an HR accident waiting to happen?
Yes.
Every Mentos.
Yeah,
Fresh breath has never got me out of.
How am I going to sneak into this movie theater? Ha! I'll eat a Mentos.
Mentos.
I'm
about to say Mentos, 7-Up. Well, 7-Up.
I'm gonna hitch a ride on this bus without paying the fare. You know, I'm gonna pop a Mentos.
It was always weird. And then you had that's what was that? What was that gum? Five Senses or something like that. The commercial had nothing to do with the gum.
Yeah.
It was like 5 Senses or something. I want to say it was like Senses or 5 Senses gum.
It was just 5, I think.
Yeah,
I think it was
5 gum. It might
be
be 5.
It was just 5.
What they pushed it on Smallville too. It was literally an episode where Pete Ross came back on Smallville, and he kept chewing that gum because the gum was supposed to give him some kind of ability.
Yeah.
And I was like, boy, they are really pushing this gum right here. It was like they were showing the wrapper and everything, you know.
They did push a lot of things, but I'll be forever indebted to Surge. Surge was beta Red Bull. Let's just call it what it was.
Yeah, it was. It really
Surge,
was.
yes. WCW was good for that one.
Yeah.
WCW. I remember seeing the guy. The announcers were sitting there at the table and they're turning the can around while they're doing the commentating, and they're like, you see the label, and I'm like, I know product placement when I see it.
God bless. You're right though. A lot of stuff they got away with. But I'm just like, the more I think about it, every commercial we used to watch was kind of almost borderline cringeworthy.
Mel Brooks wasn't wrong. Merchandising. He wasn't wrong.
I'm still waiting for the search for more money. You gave us, sir. You gave us History of the World Part 2, and that was amazing. I need Spaceballs to search for more money.
Search for more. I need more Spaceballs in my life. So HBO Max will be dropping this is their tagline, the one to watch. Look, you guys are already kind of leading the pack when it comes to streaming.
Yeah.
You know, when you stumbled for a little bit at first because you stumbled on naming when you first started. Because I think it was HBO. It was called something else before it became. Yeah, it was HBO Next.
It was HBO Next because they were capitalizing on Pepsi Next, which is, nobody remembers that. There's a good reason.
Yeah. It fell away to Crystal Pepsi. It fell the same side of Crystal Pepsi. Which, by the way, if you ever come across the unopened bottle of Crystal Pepsi, I advise you do not drink that
at all. Just put it in your car and run on it. At that point, it's ethanol.
Yeah, it's up there with my Lord.
I looked that up when y'all told me about that, and someone said there and said, "Why do you want to drink that?" I said, "I don't want to drink it. I just want to be aware of what it looks like if it's ever presented to me."
Yes, it's bad stuff.
It's like Jaeger. I'll know Jaeger when I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll sit up there. It will take your. I said it to a woman I spoke to at work today. I said, "Malort is what sobers you up." It was. It's the drink that sobers you up.
Dang, I was gonna say 140 moonshine.
If 151 will sit you down, Malort will stand you up and make you regret every decision you've ever made.
So, I know to stay away from that. That sounds terrible.
Yeah, it is. Like, what is this? Malort, you got to drink it on ice. Look, I'm gonna tell you right now. I equate things to pizza. If you can eat pizza when it's hot and it's good, and it's cold, it's even better. Then that's good pizza. Yeah. If you have to have some type of liquor and it's warm, nasty, and it's warm, cold, that's not what you want. Like ice won't make it better.
Hey, that's about surprising learning that MD 2020 did not stand for Mad Dog.
No.
Oh yeah.
That was a fact that messed me up. I said, we've been calling it Mad Dog for years. That's not how that's not the name.
It's not the name. No. So yeah, that's their tagline. The one to watch is debuting at May 23rd. May 23rd is when they're debuting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why they're doing that, but they're still going to have the DC universe, which is always a plus because a lot of fans, were worried that it would leave, and I'm like, no, that's kind of their staple. Their staple is right now the DC universe, the Game of Thrones universe, now the Last of Us universe, and a couple of other stuff like Euphoria and whatever. So that's their mainstay, and they're smart in keeping those properties around.
Yeah,
and saying, we're not selling this off or anything. We might be partnering up with with someone else, if anything, but we're not selling anything off because even like I spoke, what was it last week when they said My Adventures with Superman will be debuting on Adult Swim. Well, they're partnered with Adult Swim, so you'll still see it.
They have that.
They'll still see it on HBOMAX. So it's not the name I would have gone with. I just would have stuck with it.
I would have stuck with HBO said now with Discovery. It's like,
I don't know about you guys, but like HBO has always been a bigger name than
That's exactly what fans were saying. It's like you hear HBO, you're like, you're in for a good time. It's something for everybody there.
That just makes me think that they just went to a focus group and said, how do you feel about Max? And they went to people that were just slightly special and said, that's all right. That to me, because I can think like both of you guys said, you hear HBO, we're used to HBO. It was one of the first, if not the first, I'm not really sure the historical sense. It was the first I want to say arguably the first pay-per-view channel. So of course there's history to that. So it's like, why can't you just stick with HBO? We've got more.
They've always managed to stay with the times, because Friday nights was the night when they had like their original programming, and then like Saturdays was movie night. So you had a staple, which you still have. The only time they really took a hit on the new movie night was during COVID, because it was like, okay, there's really no new movies to show right now. So
you've seen everything, and
I mean, the movies that were going direct to HBO streaming, it's like, we see. It's like, thanks for saving us $20 movie theaters, really appreciate it. But
exactly.
But you're right though. It's still Max.
So speaking of Max, the first thing to actually come out with the Max logo was the behind the scene, like a production teaser of the new spinoff of the Batman, the Penguin, which is still fantastic makeup job. Those guys over there,
man.
There's people now who still haven't seen the Batman and can't believe that's Colin Farrell.
Right.
Yeah.
I saw them put the makeup on him, and I still don't believe it.
That's one, that says how much of an actor he is. Two, that says how well the makeup people are. Like,
this is why big budgets matter.
Yeah,
give me the budget to do what I need to do.
Don't skimp, because
he could have been looking like Fat Bastard from Austin Powers.
Yeah, but see, at least we knew what we were in for.
Yeah.
So with that, we have the little production trailer for the Penguin. I like this vibe that it's given too. So we'll check this out real quick.
All right.
This is one of those moments you gotta ask yourself, what kind of life do I want? The world ain't built for guys like us. That's why we gotta take whatever we decide is ours. It's Carmine Falco's right hand. Try to push me out. Whoa, hey! You ain't seen what I can do. If you step out of line, even once, I'll gut you like a goddamn fish. Can you imagine the people saying my name in the streets after you're gone? Have it mean something? The new kingpin of Gotham.
It's giving. It's giving.
It is beautiful.
It's
and
giving.
Kira, before you say something, you're muted. Okay, you know.
She does. She's like, I know. Don't tell me. No. Yeah, I like this vibe that they. I was worried at first because I'm like, okay, it seems a bit ambitious to do a spinoff, but then you see this, and you're just like, I like the vibe it's giving. It doesn't seem like they're gonna be using Batman as the crutch.
No.
They're going straight like, and we've seen this vibe before, like with the Sopranos and Succession that's doing great right now. I like that whole thing where we're focusing on the criminal underworld and his rise.
Kind of like that. Yeah.
Oh, it's the fact that and I was hoping they would go this direction. And Chris, you're right. A little bit of Sopranos, a little bit of Breaking Bad. It's the fact that they're telling the story of his rise, and I like the fact that they're doing that in a way. It's like all I want to be is remembered by any means necessary, and that's always like you can run with this. I said because of his ties to the Falcone and Maroni families, that you can literally, it's like you can tell a story without using the bat. Gotham failed at this, but the Penguin can do it. So I'm all for it. I'm wanting this. What do you think, Lady Mandalore?
I think somebody finally figured out how to do a Batman show. Struck a gold mine. They figured out that the gold is in their villains. Batman is good. That's cool, but that inside of DC, I will give it to them. Their villains are top tier. They are absolutely like the best, some of the best written villains out here. It's one of the reasons. One of the main reasons I go back to. That's the reason why I'm a Batman fan, not necessarily a DC fan.
I understand.
True.
Our villains are like red velvet. We got layers.
Yeah, I think when you have, especially when you have comic book series like Gotham PD, which was an amazing run. Like you barely had to worry about Batman in it. Like if it was a shadow, and then you seen him no other panels. It was literally Gordon and the police department just trying to get the stuff done. I'm getting that. Even now they're one shots that they're doing, like One Bad Day. Like I just picked up Ra's al Ghul, One Bad Day. Like those are good.
Yeah.
One shot hit, you're just like, wow, they did it with Joker decades ago. And someone in the bullpen said, why don't we revisit that and just tell it from a different perspective of another villain and just have fun with it.
Especially, it's like, imagine you doing the Penguin. I mean, and like Kara said, you can go Mad Hatter. You can literally go Firefly. You could actually go Black Mask. You could go the Court of Owls. You could go the Order with Azrael and explain that story. Or you can go with the Second Coming of the Demon Head. So those villain stories, and that's why, and Kira's right, and you're right. Somebody went to James Gunn and said, I want to be a villain. And James Gunn said, all right, let's see what you got. Let's go with it. Let's run with it.
Let's do it. Chloe Flanker says, I'm the same way. I'm a Batman fan, not necessarily DC fan. I'm the same way.
Yeah,
like it's really the only book I buy.
Batman universe pretty much carry. It's in DC. You have Batman and Superman. Like that's really it. Like, nobody else really cares too much about anybody else. Every like Justice League and all that stuff. It's all centered around Batman and Superman. It's like Pepsi and Coca-Cola.
Yeah, like nobody cares about Surge. We want our Pepsi. We don't. we don't care about cherry red Coke. We just want Coke. We don't want. We want Coca-Cola. We want the stuff. So
I'm waiting to see a live action with Clayface. Everybody keeps sleeping on the dude Clayface.
I'm waiting.
I'm worried. I want to see Clayface, but I'm worried because Clayface, from an animation standpoint, can be well done.
Yes.
Live action, though, I mean,
I think they got to work when it comes to the Matt Reeves universe of the Batman. I think they have to work their way there.
Yeah,
you know, if you give us the stories like, give me a Mr. Freeze, you know,
a decent one.
Told like that.
Yeah,
you know, give me one of those. Give me a Riddler told like that. You know, no shade to Jim Carrey, but you know, give me that Riddler because we know at the time when he was walking this earth, Robin Williams would have been after seeing him like 1 hour photo and everything else.
Yeah.
We were just like, we would have loved to see him as a Riddler.
Robin
now that we know.
I heard something that you know, it was once rumored that Johnny Depp would have been the Riddler, and I would have liked to see that too.
Even that's a nice spin. Even that's a nice spin on it, you know.
But Robin Williams as a that to me was a treasure trove of horror movies that could have been done as him and the villain.
Yeah, because if I don't know, well, Black Spartan, I know you seen Jessica Jones. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but watching David Tennant in Jessica Jones as the Purple Man was terrifying. And he's my favorite doctors of all the Doctor Who. You know, so seeing him in this role just kind of creep you out, and you're just like, this is good, you know, because it's borderline creepy in the fact that he's playing the role that well. Yeah. So when you see like Robin Williams in 1 hour photo, and it was another one where he was with Al Pacino.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't think of the name of it right now.
When you see those that's right. Yeah, when you see those type of films, and you're just like, he's good. Then you look back and you say, yeah, you would have been if they had the right writing behind it. Yeah, and then he had a way of improvising anyway, so that would have been.
But try to keep everybody sane on camera while he's around, though. That'd been a lot of takes because Robin be firing.
He's giving you some takes. You're gonna run out of tape. I'm telling you now. So that's for sure. So that does look good. I'm looking forward to it. They're saying early 2024. They should be filming all the way up until July. So yeah, early 2024 seems like their release. That Colin Farrell, like that, I see that getting nominated.
Yeah.
If that's just your in production trailer,
you're good.
This ain't even the finished stuff. This is
production trailer look like.
Like that, like because I had to look at it again, and I'm like, oh, there's a boom mic in the shot. Okay, I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, it's the behind the scenes type.
Especially, I'm sorry, go ahead.
What you saying?
I don't like missing the boom mic. I need to go watch it again now.
Yeah, I'll show it again. But it was because it's a shot where it's just him. Yeah. And you're just like, wait a minute, dude, that's intense, So we're showing it again. We're going to show it again because it's just that damn good. Is that damn impressive. So hold on, here we go and blow this up. Here we go. All right, round 2.
This is one of those moments you gotta ask yourself, what kind of life do I want? The world ain't built for guys like us. That's why we gotta take whatever we decide is ours. It's Carmine Falco's right hand. Try to push me out. Whoa, hey! You ain't seen what I can do. If you step out of line, even once, I'll gut you like a goddamn fish. Can you imagine? The people saying my name on the streets after you're gone. Have it mean something. The new kingpin of Gotham.
It does. It just looks good. It's
the
just
whole
freaking
the
good.
whole Soprano after the fact. He's gonna fill a man up with holes in
Yeah.
Vibe. It's a vibe.
DC Soprano vibes.
Yeah, it's a vibe.
Kind of like
that cinematography looks good too. Just with some of the shots they did provide, those are some great looking shots.
Yeah,
it's movie quality.
Yeah, it is very much movie quality.
but that's why I got a lot of faith in that, just because of how they're going with it, and they're not doing the traditional classic penguin. I mean, they are giving the limp. The limp is there, but it's not the whole top hat, the monocle, and the umbrella. It's like it's modernized, and I can live with that.
It's not campy.
Right.
Not campy. It's not campy. You know, I like that. That looks amazing. I'm ready for that. So HBO Max seems to make a lot of news today, or yesterday and today, because they also announced their voice cast for Creature Commandos.
Yeah.
We have David Harbour, who's everybody's favorite sheriff, and Alan Tudyk, who's everybody favorite everything. Favorite pilot, favorite weasel, favorite choreographer, dance choreographer. If you've watched Peacemaker, so come on, that dance was infectious. Whether you could do it or not, you're just like, you know what? The fact that it came from his brain and his wife went with it is just classic gold. But yeah, you have Frank Grillo, who was also known as Crossbones in the Marvel universe. He's playing Rick Flag Sr. And then they're having, let's see, Maria Balkalova as Princess Ilyana Rostovich, Zoe Chow as Nina Mazursky, Sean Gunn pulling double duty as G.I. Robot. I think anything James Gunn is doing, Sean just has a job immediately. He's just
yeah.
I don't want to say nepotism, but I mean it's like we would have done the same,
Hey, that's how you keep the family in it. Like, look, I got a role.
Yeah,
I'm major, but you can make it.
You can be it.
It's all on you.
Steve Agee will be reprising his role as John Economos from the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker in his brief appearance in Shazam: Fury of the Gods. This is turning out to be a nice build.
Yeah.
Because at first when they said Rick Flag, and I'm like, yo, wait. You bumped off Rick Flag unless you didn't. Because we thought Peacemaker was out until we realized he wasn't, so this is turning out to be, this is what he was thinking of when he was saying actors playing the same roles across the board. This makes sense. Like you said, you have Economos, who's the bearded one, and in Peacemaker, and it makes sense to say, hey, you know what? I need you to do the voice as this character in this animated feature as well. Like, there's a job. Sean Gunn, there's a job, my guy. There's just a job. Sean, you have a job. Sean is never without a job. So yeah, he actually, James Gunn has like 25 different projects in development.
Them Star Wars numbers.
It is.
Yeah.
You said Shakirah, you said you thought you were busy.
Right.
Like that. Hey, let him cook. Let that man cook. He got to pull the fat out the fire on this because
snapping.
Yeah,
right.
We know previous regime over at Warner Brothers and DC, they have not been kind. They have been more missed than they have been hits. And
like a drunk person playing Battleship.
Yeah. It's a nice build he's got going on. Frank Grillo was actually on record of saying he was a little disappointed. He wasn't little. He was disappointed at his character's Crossbones. He wanted him to last longer. Hell, I did. We
really wanted that, considering the fact he has a history with Captain America and the Avengers.
Yeah, I'm just like you kind of bumped them off in Civil War, like
in 10 minutes.
Wanda did it, so
partially.
So so I mean, so it was just, I don't know. It was one of them things where they just have a lot going on. One of his other projects he has, as we talked about it before, is chapter 1 of what he has already going on. It's called Gods and Monsters. That's kicking off everything. He's also got Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart for their Lanterns project. And let's face it, I don't know who they have for either one of those roles.
They're not telling nobody nothing until they just.
Please let it be good. Please let it be good.
It's good.
It's James Gunn.
It's good.
I have not been disappointed with his work yet.
Well, it's only because I am a Jon Stewart Green Lantern fan, and he never got a decent run in the comics. Argue with your mama.
Yeah.
But the fact that you're going to give him his television show, and the fact that Diggle should have been Green Lantern, but I'm not going into that rant right now.
We're going to leave that one alone.
Leave that one alone too.
It's like they missed that boat several times.
Man. So that's why I'm like, just please let it be good. Please let it be a good actor. Please let it be a good story, because there's plenty out there. That's all I ask.
Yeah. I think what I'm looking forward to is Booster Gold. I swear to God. We have some favorites. We really do. Mr. Gunn, if you listen to the show, we hope you do.
I just want to sit there and
we
go,
have
hey.
some favorites.
That's hey, that's Homelander. That's all I want.
I'm not gonna. Don't let me hold you. I think one of y'all mentioned it last week. Chris Pratt. Somebody mentioned it. Chris Pratt.
Wrong camera.
Was it Kira?
Who?
You mentioned
Chris Pratt as
no,
I'm
sorry.
not.
I'm sorry.
You don't think he would make a good Booster Gold?
Absolutely not. I am done with Mr. Pratt. Like,
I'm about to say,
there are other white people, white men y'all can pick from. Y'all have a plethora. I'm asking for diversity. When it comes
now we almost had it. We almost had it on Legends of Tomorrow. Actually, we did have it. We did have it on Legends of Tomorrow, but they canceled the show after his premiere.
Whoops.
That was good and terrible.
Yeah. And we knew what Legends of Tomorrow was. We knew what it was, and we accepted it. We were glad it didn't really it tied into the rest of the Arrowverse, but it didn't tie in to the rest of the Arrowverse.
Surprise! It really lasted that long, honestly.
Yeah.
Who are you telling?
Yeah. When they really start, because when you really started figuring out, like, oh, they're just cycling out the casts, like you're not keeping the same. I'm like, oh, okay, let's see where this goes.
To see Matt Ryan as Constantine, that was my favorite. To see him come back as Constantine from the NBC series, I was like, okay, this is
that was a slap to the peacock. Because they dropped that ball. That show was good, and they dropped that ball. They didn't know how to handle Constantine.
Because they wait a minute, y'all. They gave Grimm 4 seasons. You couldn't give Constantine 1, and Grimm was good.
Grimm was really good.
Grimm.
It was just like NBC had a slew of occult supernatural type shows in a certain pocket. It was Grimm, Constantine, Midnight Texas, and I think it was a fourth one. And the Cape. Ooh, Keith David. I never forgot. But they didn't know how to handle the concepts. They didn't know how to handle the project or anything. And I think, like Grimm, like you said, Grimm was really good. Constantine first season was really good. It was going somewhere. And I think it was because, NBC was known for wholesome and comedies and instilling the concept of living single. I'm sorry, did I say that out loud?
You can say it. Man, they did it.
Louder for the folks in the back.
Yeah. So they did these things, and we didn't understand why they did it, but they really couldn't handle. And it just had really started dawning on me, like, over time. It was like, yeah, you really don't know how to handle this level of storytelling. It's Grimm was probably your most light version of it.
And from my understanding with the showrunner and the executives NBC were going to war over every episode. Like the showrunner had to sit there and say, I literally had to fight them to get what you see on television because they wanted to go a different route. I was like,
I believe it.
I can see that.
I believe it. Because what we got was it was dark. but compared to Midnight Texas and compared to Constantine, because Constantine was probably its darkest.
Yeah.
It was
honest.
It was straight. It was straight from the source. Like you're here and you're in it. And I don't think they knew it. And it was on Friday nights, and I don't think they knew how to wrangle that. It was like there was nothing to wrangle. Let it roll.
It's like y'all are getting ratings. Y'all are doing numbers. What's the problem?
That was the big. Well, you're right, Kurt. You're right, because that was the big. Every superhero / commodity was being picked up by everyone. Like that was in the. I want to say we were probably year 2 or year 3 in the MCU, and all these other television and movie companies were going like, oh crap, we need to start picking these things up. And I think Grimm was in the middle of season 2. They introduced it as the pull-in show they introduced Constantine as the pull-in show, and then from there it's just like we don't know what to do with this dark DC character. It's DC. DC stands for dark characters. That's exactly what it stands for.
Just roll with it. It's like it's literally writing itself for you, and you don't see it. So I don't know. And that's what I took it as. Like you just didn't know how to handle the projects.
Yeah.
And you didn't know where to take it. So when he shows up on Legends of Tomorrow, well, when he showed up on Arrow, on Arrow first, and he's like, "Oh, there's a spell," and he whips out a peacock feather, and I'm like, "Yep."
I do laugh at the fact that they tie Lucifer. I do like the fact that they tie Lucifer into it. Tom Ellis's character. Tom Ellis Lucifer did lock into it. He looks at Constantine. Yes, you. I was like, that's all I needed. Just that sarcasm met with
another good show. Actually, another really good show.
Yeah. No, Lucifer was great.
Yeah, another good show. So in other news that no one else asked for, coming from HBOMAX, they're redoing Harry Potter as a series.
Yeah, that's that face right there. That face. Shakirah, that face.
Yeah.
Why though?
Exactly. Well, there's nothing wrong with the original. There's no reason to play out a series.
No.
Over 10 years or 10 seasons, they say. I'm like,
it's that video game. It's that video game because they were on the fence about doing this the whole time until that video game money started to roll in, and then they were like, "Oh, we don't have to do Harry Potter specifically." Okay, green light, get this done. But for 10 years, murder me.
As the person
meanwhile, the people over at Game of Thrones was like 10 seasons. Y'all barely gave us the last 7 and 8.
Wait.
Somewhere Jon Snow is still walking. Ain't this?
Arya somewhere still roaming the seas and stuff. I'm pissed. Where's my Arya series?
I mean, I don't and I'm all for telling great stories. Like I said, I just hopped on the Harry Potter train just last year. So me getting to watch all the movies and the Fantastic Beasts spinoffs, okay, I get it. And yes, we did have our and I hate to say it died off. I think it kind of got quieter. Our HBCU Hogwarts thing that was kind of on fire for a little while.
Yeah.
So I don't get the whole thing of this is where I say there's no need to do it.
Yes.
Like you can sit there and go with the original stories. You can even go to the books that actually have more information than the movies do. But why do you feel a need to tell a television series where the movies have already done enough? I mean,
I've read all those series, right? So watching the movies and knowing that Rowling was on set, he's saying, okay, yeah, there are certain stories that don't really have to be in here, like Dobby the Elf. His whole backstory isn't really necessary for the narrative of that movie, that he's in, because it's a side story. All you just need is a certain level where Hermione was talking about, liberation and everything else, and you didn't need to go into all the other back stuff.
Gotcha.
That's what they're trying to do here. They're like, well, we don't really need that.
Wait,
the back door of Harry Potter.
Have they actually?
That sounds like a porn hub.
Have they said that they're actually it's going to be Harry Potter specifically, or are they just using that name as a coverall?
It's Harry Potter.
Why not? You know what? Why not?
Go home.
Yeah.
Go home. Try again. I don't want it. Nobody wants this.
No.
But here's the thing.
Not a continuation of them as adults. None of that. Just it's
Why not
literally
tell a different story?
We're running it back. We're running it back. You know,
that's my thing. If you're gonna use Hogwarts, just use the school. Why do you need to start with the central character? That's my thing.
No,
like I'm like you could have went with.
You really can say, okay, after Harry left, after that original crew graduated.
You can say Hogwarts went to Harlem and picked up a kid. I've been happy with that. At least it's a different character. The owl found its way between Broadway and 55th Street. I would have been happy with that. Somewhere a kid got a lucky ticket to go to Hogwarts. I would have been okay with that.
And they look like us.
Yes.
You know?
The first wizard in Thames. I would be laughing a little bit, honestly. I'd be laughing a little bit.
Ew.
Just because
it would be Sam. It would be Sam Jackson when he was Ptolemy Gray. It would be.
Imagine the selection hat. You shall be Slytherin. Dead ass B.
Not that I can't
get
it
out
out of my head.
I gotta be a snake. I gotta be a snake.
I can't. I can't get the Sam Jackson angle. All right, so boom. Get this between that and Sam Jackson being the pick, and I'm like, look, motherfucker, you are a wizard.
Samuel L. Jackson is Hagrid. Just
if you don't get your ass on the A train, so we can go.
Oh man.
So yeah,
I'm saying that's
I don't. This is one of them things where we get a project and you have to ask yourself, why is it necessary to do a remake when you have so much backstory on so many other characters? You had something going when you had the Fantastic Beasts run, and then you stumbled when the whole thing with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard went down. You stumbled. You still had a story. You could have went back on it, but by that time, I think it had tarnished so much, and then you had this long wait, and it kind of fell apart, and it just kind of fell apart.
They're like, okay, so how do we rebrand this?
Yeah,
there you go.
Or you can talk about Severus Snape and his story and why he's so he's so aligned toward Potter. Or you can go
when you talk about it. When you talk about somebody's story that really was just like when you realize what it is, you're just like, whatever going on, I need to know what happened to this brother.
Right.
He was the sacrifice.
He's like, he had an intense Mr. Potter, our local celebrity. I was like, bro, what did I do to you?
Wait a minute. I think we're gonna get a Black Hermione. Hermione.
It should have always been a Black Hermione.
It always should have been a Black Hermione, but let me go to the dark side of Twitter and wait on that response.
Yeah. It always should have been a Black Hermione. It should have been. We needed that.
I don't want her this way.
Exactly. I'm with you, Lady Vandalore. I don't want her like you're doing a retelling. It was like, no, you can tell another story.
Again.
The school is being rebuilt. Tell me that story.
A new headmaster seeks new students. I mean, you could go a different route.
You know, you still have the actress that played McGonagall. She's still alive. Warwick Davis is still alive. So you can go another way.
But they're trying to go back to the already dried out well. You can't get no more from it. It's just dirt. It's just dirt and dreams. That's all.
There was nothing wrong the first round. I don't understand that. There was nothing wrong in the first round.
Only because, well, again, that's just like Batman and Robin. Again, a classic going to the well when the well was dry.
Right.
You can't keep telling the same story and expect to cash in no matter how campy you make it. Like giving the Batmobile rims.
We don't
and bat nipples.
We definitely don't talk about
that. It just doesn't make sense. It's not a mammal. A bat. No.
Thank you, Karen.
She's not a mammal.
All that and above. All of that. Yeah. There's just certain things that we don't ask for. It still sounds like the regime has changed, but then it sounds like it's a bit more of the same.
more things change.
And if it's only for James Gunn to say, look, they're not touching any of my DC stuff. I don't know what the hell else they got going on.
That ain't none of my business.
But they ain't touching none of this over
I
here.
kind of feel like James Gunn pulled a Mufasa. He's like, everything the light touches belongs to me.
Right.
But that area over there,
He's got it somewhere in his pride. He got it somewhere in his contract to say the minute y'all decide y'all want to input, I'm out. I'm gone. Yeah, I'm like, I'm gone. I'm going back. I'm going back to the mouse. Yeah.
have Kevin Feige. Come on home, James Gunn. There's another project we want you to make money off of that nobody knows about.
Right. Come write the Eternals for us.
It does need a new writer.
It does
need a new writer.
Because they made it really hard for you to care about any of those characters.
Damn.
I'm just saying.
You ain't lying though, but damn.
Did it even need to? Let me stop. I'm not gonna have me on here.
Look, we know there were certain standout characters
That's pretty
in
much
the
it.
Eternals, and one of them was Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, who barely had lines, but she was like, "Look, y'all got this. This shit looks boring.
Mm-hmm.
Let me spice it up a little bit."
Call me when the action comes.
The Eternals the Eternals read like of Mice and Men. You remember it in school, but you can't tell me one character out of that book.
Other than George. That's about it.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, Angelina Jolie. I can't tell you about it.
Y'all gonna remember me. Y'all gonna remember my character.
It was like
even Tyree, what's his last name? The guy who played Face-Toast.
Henry Tyree.
Yeah, even his role was just, I'm not gonna say forgettable.
And he's a great actor. It's just
they didn't know what to do with him. They didn't know what to do with him.
That's when you have folks that never read an Eternals comic and you're trying to write a story, it's gonna be weird. Since the fact that you could have sat there and started off with Thanos' brother, but
so much going on and so many backstories and this side story and over here and this front story over there, and it's like, okay. And how do y'all know each other? Y'all met at the club.
Yeah.
So then,
if you had that many stories, you're better off having Guy Ritchie do it. You know?
Yeah, right. When you have,
you got The Gentleman, which is also a great movie.
Yeah,
The Gentleman is an awesome movie.
Yeah,
love that movie.
When you have like people who had standout scenes, like Makari had a standout scene.
Mm-hmm.
Her scenes will always stand out. Hell, even Gilgamesh had stand out. Like his entire, like when they go find him and you realize he's taking care of Athena.
Yeah,
that whole scene.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that's how you own the scene. You know, Kingo. That's how you own the scene. Like just own the scene and then walk away. You know.
It's like you had the upper echelon of the Celestials you could have worked with.
Yeah.
And again, as Chris has pointed out, currently in the MCU, there is a half Eternal sticking out of the earth, and apparently nobody is paying attention.
Nobody's saying anything about it.
No one's paid attention except for She-Hulk.
Yeah.
She's pointed it out.
And she's got that fourth wall.
She got it. Whatever. That's a thing. It's a thing. Speaking of She-Hulk, not per se She-Hulk herself, but as you know, we premiered the Marvel's teaser trailer the other day. Now we were all excited, but naturally, quote unquote, fans.
Yes, the incels. Your misogyny is showing heavily. Right, Kira. Go ahead.
I have several things. Number one, any publicity is good publicity.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would not put it past someone accidentally on purpose putting this nonsense out and trying to hype it up in order to get I guess the other side to say, I'm gonna go see this. I'm not woman or man. I'm gonna go see this movie.
Yeah.
In order to see it. And the other is weird. Like, it's not. I do not think any of the people that, like you said, fans, are coming after this movie. I think it's just people that like to see the world burn. I do not think that these are people that care one way or the other
Yeah.
if this movie is good or bad or does good or bad. They
Yeah.
just they see something that they
you
can latch on and just
Yeah.
start
feeding into the
negativity.
narrative that there's burnout, feeding into the narrative of
In-
female-led
what they
character or
call it.
female-led movie characters, superhero characters, and I'm not interested in it. Well, I don't think I need your opinion. I don't need your quote or your opinion on that. Just
But it's interesting when they
Just
say,
don't
I'm
watch it."
just I'm just so tired of the MCU. I'm like, then don't go,
Oh, that
motherfucker.
shit
Yeah.
fucking pisses me off.
It's not necessary. Move
Shut
on.
the fuck up.
I kind of like I have to tell my inner Samuel L. Jackson whenever I hear that. It's like no shame, but it's just hard to watch a female-driven lead, and I'm like, no, it's not hard. You just mad because it ain't you, or you're just mad because it's not your fantasy.
I hear Sam Jackson from Pulp Fiction. Say what again? Is what a country?
But Kira may have a point though, because who knows? There might be somebody whose main job is to pose as a troll to get the other side, to get one side going for the other side to respond, and then all that traffic goes to Marvels, which it really doesn't need to. The trailer itself is great.
Yes, it does. After that first, in my opinion, they need a win. They absolutely need a win. I think positive reinforcement for this movie, because I did not like that first Marvel movie at all.
Oh, no, Captain Marvel
was not for me.
Now, Captain Marvel, I get, but I'm talking about from the Marvels trailer where you had all three. Now that was different. Now, Captain Marvel, I'll agree with you, Mom. That was a weak, soft story. There's no way that.
I didn't hate it, but I noticed I noticed some things, you know. Even now when it's playing on like TNT or whoever plays it, and I watch it, I notice I have to turn my TV up. And I'm like, I'm like, I thought it was me because I seen it in the theaters, and then I seen it on Disney Plus. So I'm like, it's not just me. Like, did you guys sabotage this on purpose?
I mean,
because it still did its numbers. It still did numbers.
You know,
I was always curious to go see it, and I gave it an honest try, and I'm like, nah, this is reading. Let's hit these different notes. Let's hit these women empowerment notes that we think is what women actually want to see, and not actually hire a woman writer that is willing to say, no, this is pandering. That's not what this is about.
Yeah.
This is not how we actually feel empowered, or how we present when we feel like we are in power and nothing can fuck with us. We don't do that.
Even a song choice, that's always like, I kind of cringed a little. I cringed a little bit in the movie theaters because the song choices was like, you had no doubts. I'm just a girl playing. I'm just like, was James Gunn not available?
You would have at the gate. This ain't it.
This ain't hitting.
Because I'm like, don't get me wrong, Guardians of the Galaxy, every soundtrack off of every movie is fire.
Yes.
So here's the thing. I don't think it's not so much, and I'm glad you said that. It's not. I'm glad you said that, Marcelo. It's not a woke agenda.
That is not this.
Yeah, it's not a woke agenda. It's now that other side will call it that.
Yeah,
you know,
yes.
But it's not so much a woke agenda. It's just woke is a term that's designed for people understanding where they come from, how they're, where their backstories, their background, all that's what you're waking up to the truth of things.
Right.
Having diversity and having inclusion of all forms isn't so much woke. It's just what it is. It's inclusion. It's what it is. It's there.
I think people I am furious at people just taking words and just regurgitating because it makes them feel better about something that they can't precisely emote the way that they need to. Woke is not supposed to be a negative term.
No.
The actual issue that people are having, or people are trying to attach to that word is bad story writing. It's people that don't know how to hire a diverse a diverse cast or staff behind the scenes in order to give people something of substance. It's not the fact that we have women in these positions. It's not the fact that women are taking the lead in these characters. It's people that don't know how to write. I'm
Right.
tired of y'all.
Yeah, he's saying it's the inclusion agenda ruining Marvel. It's not ruining it. It's not
bad
because
writing.
it's not. Yeah, it's bad writing. It's bad writing
bad
and tropes.
appropriation, bad casting always leads to a terrible movie.
Right.
Yes.
When you look at inclusion, I mean, pick up a DC comic, pick up a Marvel comic. There's inclusion, especially in Marvel. It's nothing but inclusion.
Yeah,
it's nothing but inclusion. So it's the people who, like you said, Black Spartan. It's the writing, one, and then it's the trolls. You know, so and this is not just Marvel. This is just across the board. Like who said it earlier? They just said it earlier. Oh yeah, because God forbid everyone gets to enjoy a thing. Exactly.
You're gonna get that one. You're gonna get that comic book guy from The Simpsons. No. I mean, they literally teased that, and that's what it was. They literally teased in She-Hulk. They literally teased these same factions. But it makes such a great episode to have all the trolls come in. This is not the She-Hulk that I wanted. The She-Hulk that I wanted is sexy. You're gonna give me sexy.
That was brilliant.
Sounded just like him there. Yeah.
That's I'm watching way too much Simpsons. But
look, every time comic book guy from Simpsons shows up, I'm like, oh, not this guy.
That's what it usually is. It never ceases to amaze me because I know we talked about when She-Hulk came out, especially the troll episode, where it's like, I'm not watching She-Hulk, she woke, and I was like, and you just see the entire cast of She-Hulk having fun with this. And it's almost like, thank you, trolls, for writing our fourth episode. Because apparently you've never read a She-Hulk comic. Because just like Deadpool, she is a fourth wall character. Everything is seen from her perspective. Even when I forgot the writer's name. Two of the writers got so ticked off about how She-Hulk was being written that literally it's a blank page where She-Hulk is sitting down and just saying, F this, go on to the next episode, next section.
Yeah.
And I was like, the writers get it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, when it transfers to movies, it's hit or miss. I mean, I wanted Captain Marvel to do well just because Captain Marvel could introduce the Ultimates, which could lead up to Blue Marvel and everyone else.
I'm here for Tiana Paris and Kamala Khan.
Yeah, Kamala Khan is still is the MCU fan she
sold that trailer. I'm sorry, she sold that.
Yeah.
I mean, in full get up.
From screaming in sheer terror to seeing Nick Fury and say, "Oh, is this an Avengers test?"
I saw the fact they were at the door. Is this for Kamala Khan? Yeah. Full gear.
I got in.
Hello.
She's adorable.
It's adorable at the same time. It's just like she's an MCU fan. That's a superhero. That's still an MCU fan. I cannot be mad about that.
Right.
Hey, she's the one that said this is Marvel 91999. I'm like, yo, keep that kid.
The fact she argues with Kevin Feige, it's 616. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
616. No, it's
not. Like she went to the ball cap herself and said,
"Look, let me tell you something real quick.
Hold this."
I want you to embarrass
her. It still got her job. Still got her job.
Oh man.
Oh my God. So we're gonna take a quick little break. She is. She is definitely one of us, Miss Marvel, especially since she's just like her character. She's so much like her character.
Yeah.
Seeing her react like that behind the camera, you're just like, yeah, she's
not acting.
Yeah, this is her. Yeah. She is. She's adorable. I love her. I love her.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to come back with the Gatlings. We're going to be talking about their projects, what they have going on, and also these great things. So we'll be right back. Running low on energy, long days, and even longer nights. Tired of all the other energy drinks and bars promise you a lot and never delivering? Need to make it through work, but want a product that can keep up with your busy lifestyle? Want no longer? Try Chef's Chocolate Salty Balls. The balls that are so smooth and with a load of nutrients and vitamins to really get you up and bouncing off the walls. Made with all natural ingredients and healthy junk to satisfy even the pickiest eater. Chef's Chocolate Salty Balls are sold everywhere where you buy your junk. And now, for those who want that extra kick in the butt, comes Chef's Heavy Duty Chocolate Salty Balls with 120% more caffeine than the leading brand. Disclaimer: this product has not been approved by the FDA or World Health Association. Warning: this product is not intended for consumption by children, elderly people, or women who are pregnant or may become pregnant. You might even get pregnant.
Need to get one answer right to win. You ready?
Ready.
Okay, name a podcast. Blurred's Eye View. Who should have won that Oscar? Angela Bassett. Who did win the Oscar? Don't give a damn. Name a cartoon. Ed, Edd n Eddy. Name a guest from question 1. Carl Jones. Alright, that did it. Congratulations, you won the Hellspawn cosplay. Now, we only need a one name. Hieroglyphics. You can stop now. Josh Evans. Chase Bowman. Josh Brown. Y'all cut the commercial. He gonna be out for a while. Blurred's Eye View. Be sure to peep the podcast on all platforms, or stream every episode on Always Press Record TV. APR TV now downloadable on Amazon and Roku. APR TV, the power of podcasting in the palm of your hand. Get it today.
Woo! I love that commercial. I got to get the other one. He got me loaded up. Yes, you can catch us on Always Press Record TV through Roku and Amazon Fire. Go ahead, download that and watch our latest seasons 8 and 9 and watch all those guests he was talking about, including Shakirah Islam-Gatling. And we are talking about all these great. Malika is something that she talked about last time. But what have you been up to since then? What have you been going on?
Well, no. So, no, I'm excited because it's just so much going on. It's like I don't all the way know where to start. There's just so much going on in my brain right now. But I just had a book signing over the weekend. That's what I was talking about before. It's just so much family and so many friends came out to support. And this one cute little boy was walking by with a group of friends and was like looking at him like, "You want to come in? It's a book signing." He's like, "I just wanted to know if I could have some candy." I'm like, "Sure, come get some candy." He looked around and then he left. But I mean, it was just so nice. So many friends and family were there. So much support. So much love. So many questions about just like what's going on next. I got spanked on Saturday. I got spanked.
Wait, you don't glaze over that.
I'm sorry. Come again.
Tarek is like,
we don't judge, but
I'm just saying,
okay, we don't
kind
judge.
of a thing. You kind of okay.
I mean,
Let's talk about that for a second.
My ex were there, so it wasn't that type of spanking, but it was one of my uncle's girlfriend came and she just loved the book, and she was like, "Well, I want to know what happens to a particular character," and I'm like, "I can't tell you about that character. You're just gonna have to get." She's like, "I have to get the other book." And then she just started spanking me with my book. I'm so glad you're excited that you
threatening violence.
Even when she's explaining it, it's just like, okay.
I got spanked for making someone wait for something.
That laugh right there, Kira.
All right. All right.
So, that was exciting in many ways. No, but I
Tarek does not seem to be opposed to it. He was just like,
man, he's sitting there just like
he's turning red right now.
he's like it happened. I mean,
like, I didn't know I would be into this, but okay.
I mean, just hearing that level of excitement about characters that I created, it was just such an honor. Another one of my cousins came up and was just like, it felt like you'd been through this before. Like it was just so well written, and so everyone's really excited about the second book coming out, which is so dope to me because that's exactly what I wanted. Nice. And that will be coming out around my birthday, so in August I'll be releasing the second book.
Like right around the corner, pretty much.
It is.
When is what part of August? My anniversary is at the end of the month, so at the end of August. So
mine is the 14th.
Okay, so in the mid sections.
So
right.
This was the book you were talking about, Malkia, Battle for the Moya. This was a dope excerpt that you had for us, and your concept behind it. So let's talk about that. For those who have not seen it before, shame on you. Go back, watch the episode. Shame on you. But for those who are new here, tell them about Malkia.
Absolutely. So Malkia is a African American woman who is on Earth. She just lives her life as a call center representative by day and martial arts teacher by night. And she just parties on the weekends, hangs out with her friends, and then she finds out that she's actually not from Earth at all. That she's a queen on a planet where everyone is dark complexion. Everyone is just looks like us. Um, and unfortunately, they're at war with another group of people on that planet who also look like this. And so she has to use the moyo, which means heart in Swahili. I took a lot of the words and things from the book, from African dialects and different African languages and things. And so moyo means heart, which is essentially what helps her character realize her powers and what has helped her ancestors realize their powers. And so she's the only one on her planet who has that ability. So that's why she's just been passed down through this monarchy of the chosen ones, of these people who they're the only one who can use it. So you're our king, you have to take care of us now, or you're our queen, you have to take care of us now. And she's like, what? I work on Earth as a call center representative. I don't know what you're talking about. I think you have the wrong person. So it's that conflict of wanting to do what's right, of really thinking it's cool to have a superpower. Because I think when you're young, and especially when you're in a low income situation and things like that, you always wish that you had some power to get out of that situation. Whether it's an act like a superpower or just the ability to, make some money and bring it back to your neighborhood. And that's kind of what her conflict is. It's, I didn't ask for this, but I have this. So what can I do with this power and how can I actually help? And yeah.
I think that's dope. And I'll tell you why. We have a slew of black female sci-fi writers that it's a wave now. It's literally a wave that they're like, we know some of Toni Morrison's, we know the Octavia Butlers, we know some of those, but see now there's just, I want to say, new generation of black female writers who are delving into sci-fi and fantasy, telling these types of stories because it's opening up. Shout out to Aaron Brown, shout out to all of these great guests that we've had on it to talk about some of this stuff, and when you have something like this, I keep looking at the cover because I see you. I was like, I see, I'm gonna bring it up. I see you. That's what I'm saying. So I see you. So your inspiration obviously comes from within. Am I correct?
It does. It absolutely does. And that's why, when my cousin said that to me, I was like, well, I can't tell you what's real and what's not, and I'm giving away my secret identity. But I mean, definitely part of who I am. I mean, the character in the book, it's not so much gone into in the first book, but she's a dark-skinned woman. Her character in particular has green eyes, which is attributed to her being an alien, but she doesn't know that. But something that should be considered so beautiful and original and unique, she just feels very self-conscious about it. And she lives her life feeling very self-conscious about it when it turns out that that's part of her superpower. That's part of her power. That's part of her essence. And, growing up, a lot of the characters that you see on TV are always white. Your favorite characters. But when I think back to some of my favorite science fiction movies, the majority of the characters were white. I did not see myself in these roles that I wish I could be in. I would place myself randomly in different roles. Like, I could be in here as this helpful little sidekick, Shakirah, and I just want to be in Back to the Future, but I can't. There's no black people in it except the band and like, we're the black women. If you do have a black character, it's black men, and then they sprinkle in a black woman maybe, or whatever the case is. But our roles in being, the hero, the heroine, or being in a science fiction sphere is very limited. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to kick people's butt like in Resident Evil. I want to do that. Mila Jovovich, she's awesome, but I can.
Where's the sisters?
Yeah,
right. Like
we're the black
right.
We're here. We like the spears and the swords and everything, and so it's definitely given me a lot of encouragement. Like you said, it's a wave right now, and I'm so happy to just be surfing on it. Because it's always been there. It's just now we're getting our time to really shine. And I appreciate social media for that, because seeing Sam Ryder doing her thing, and start making her way into movies, like, oh my goodness, thank you, because I always wanted to be in that sphere of work, and so it's just amazing right now. And having the book signing and seeing so many people come out and having people tell me, I wasn't really into science fiction or fantasy, but like reading your book is mad dope, and I love it. And it's not all about what I thought it was going to be. Like, it's very humbling.
That's because it's more than just a science fiction book. It's more of it's also about a woman coming into her own, feeling comfortable with herself and coming into her power, like that she didn't even know that she had. Like you said, she's just this regular person with an office job, and all of a sudden she has to save these people and stuff. And like you said, like, yeah, you always wish that you could do more, or things like that. But when you're given the opportunity, you're like, oh damn, do I really want this? So like I heard it here, when you're burdened with glorious purpose. Burdened with glorious purpose. Yes, is this really what you want? And
right.
It's a beautiful story. So.
I think when you have these type of stories being told, me being a huge X-Men fan, and one of those characters on that squad is Storm. I absolutely love Storm. Storm is every bit a goddess when she walks in the room. And currently, how they're writing her, I couldn't have asked for more, because she's more than just the quote unquote mutant, the quote unquote weather witch, the goddess. She's tapping into magics because of her bloodline in there. She's this literally lived over 900 years. If you're reading the sinister storyline that's going on right now, so she's like this all powerful. When Wanda Maximoff says she needs to build this, she needs this magic quote unquote bridge, and the only person she knows that can help her out is Aurora Monroe, because because you tapped into magic, and the world was like, you shouldn't even be knowing that.
Let me tell you,
how do you know that? So it says a lot, because they're finally right. Storm's always been a badass, but they always scaled her back. And I'm waiting for the live action to catch up to that. And they've already scaled her powers back. So when you see these type of characters, when you see, and we've mentioned it several times, when you see Journey Smollett from Lovecraft Country, play these powerful roles, she does. Even in the Harley Quinn movie, she's a standout. Seeing her, fantastic actress anyway. But when you see these type of characters being written and these type of characters being played in live action, is like mainstream is catching up to what we already knew. If that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because it's that always comes up to the fact that we've said it. Chris, you said it. Kira, you said it. Will, when he's here, he said it. It is amazing that excuse me, guys, I'm kind of dealing with the cough, killing the cough, and trying to talk at the same time. But it is amazing that whenever a Black woman is on Front Street, there's always a little bit of a buzz. It's a little bit of a buzz, a little bit of attention going to it. Spotlight gets shined more on Black women in any genre, whether it's acting, whether it's directing, whether it's business, authors, whatever it is. There's always that one little moment where it's like, oh, this person was great. Let's see who else is out there. Let's see who else is doing that. It's always been in spurts. It's never been constant until lately, where now you see authors such as yourself are getting more noticed, and you can see the stories that are coming out, and people are like, we didn't know you could do that. The rest of us, mother, we've been knowing this.
Yeah.
Right.
You just now decided to join us.
No. Yeah.
The table, the cookout has always been there. You just had to ask.
Late.
I'm like, you just late. We still got food for you, but you're late as hell. But that's what it's always been. Like, it never ceases to amaze me how people just come up, oh, have you heard this author? Yes, I have. I think their story's lovely.
Yeah.
You just, it's like it's almost as if it's the glass ceiling. It always is the glass ceiling. Like no matter what, the glass ceiling is real. But again, this is the reason why we keep saying the whole entire time why we should always promote each other, share each other. Because yes, among ourselves, we can do that no problem. But it never ceases to amaze me that when you get someone who doesn't think, and I don't mean to say this in any negative tone, there are those out there among the incels and others that simply do not think. I know I say incel because I can't say what I really want to say. But
Americans.
Yeah, I can't say what I really want to say. So incel's the closest thing I can say. But there are some on the impression that we, specifically Black women, can't be great writers. When you have a Black lady sketch show that's entering its
fourth season.
If I'm wrong, thank you.
Fourth season.
Entering its fourth season, and it's nothing but Black talented writers that ask any of them, ask anybody, even yourself, Shakirah, you included, that it is amazing how talented you are, that you still have to fight to sit there just to be acknowledged, much less get your stuff out to be read. So it's just amazing. Now it's like, wait a minute, you've ignored people this entire doggone time, and now you're realizing that one track you skipped on was actually fire?
Yeah.
Right, you come back years later, like, damn, I should have played this.
I should have been listening to this.
Right.
You
missed out.
Yeah, like a few companies may not be bankrupt if they had decided to go in a different direction, or outside of their own box. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when you look at certain sci-fi properties that come to find out were written by women of color.
Yeah, I just
Terminator.
So many.
Did I do that? I'm sorry.
Yeah, wait a minute, say it one more time, Shakirah.
Bless you. I was just looking at a reel of all the science fiction like characters and storylines and just stories in general that came from Black women that I didn't even realize. I was like, word, that was a Black woman too. I'm like, look at us. Like no one talks about it until like it's put in a reel. And then we're just shooting out 15 names at a time. Like, well, where was all of this mainstream attention while it was happening?
And this is why I built this platform. When you have talented Black women like Akela Cooper, who wrote Malignant, The Nun, and just recently Megan, which has been like a box office smash hit, and you're just like, she's been here all this time.
Yep.
She's been here all this time, and no one knew about it. And it was like it took people like us to say, "Yo, hey, you want to know why you like that? Here, there it is." Like, there's a reason why you vibe into this. There's a reason why Megan is dancing the way she is. I'm like, so I don't think they would have came up with that idea, but hey,
I mean.
You know why it tastes so good? Because it got flavor. That's why.
It got flavor.
It had seasoning. That's why.
What is that, Laurie's? What is that?
Depending on where you are, it could be Laurie's, it could be Morton's, but it's seasoning.
It's seasoning. There's more than a grain of salt involved with it. So this is what I find it endearing when I can find women like yourself and men like yourself, Tarek, that involve themselves in the creative processes to say, hey, this other group ain't gonna recognize us, but we gonna recognize ourselves. And it's up to it really is. It's up to us to really put that out there and say, hey, you know what? That's all good over there.
Yep.
You need to check this out. You know what I'm saying? You need to check this run out by this writer. Eve Ewing is getting ready to release Black Panther. She's getting ready to write Black Panther. It's getting ready to come out pretty soon. Black female writer.
That's what
Ta-Nehisi Coates was recently on that run.
That's what I was telling Shakirah. I was like, she's like, yeah, I wish there was more there. Well, sometimes you just got to be the change that you want to see.
Speak life.
And it's It's not easy. If it was easy, everybody would do it.
Well,
You know, there's days when she's like, I don't know if I can do this and stuff. I'm like, look, you got this. Tell me
Take a
what you
breath.
need. You know, you need me to
walk it out.
these kids.
Sometimes you just burden with glorious purpose.
Yeah, hey, Loki was not wrong. Loki was right. We get to an age when you realize the villain was right.
Yeah, exactly.
you just realize they might have been on to something, you know.
You're just ahead of the curve.
Yeah, right, right.
When they do their monologue, when the villain does their monologue,
okay, it reads differently when you understand.
Yeah, it's like I said on Facebook on somebody's post today. You know, maybe Thanos just needed some direction. That's it. Maybe he just needed direction.
When you see what's out here, you be like,
you know, what if? And you know,
Thanos was on to something.
You know what? We could do this.
He just needed to be specific. That's all it was.
Like, he killed all those people. I'm like, no, he didn't really kill them. He just took them off the board.
Right.
He just said maybe not so much. So maybe just a trim. Just a trim, just off the bottom. Not too much.
No.
I mean, you could have put him on a different planet. He had the ability.
You got a point, but
here, let me play counsel to you, Lord Thanos. Let me just play counsel for a second.
It's not
we
really.
We know you one of us because you was up there making grits on that farm. You know, we know what that was.
Baby, with the pinch or something.
Yeah, it was like,
I'm mad about the seasons and spices that were right next to
it. That's a grits move. What do you mean?
What Eternal taught you about spices? That's what I want to know. All these Eternals were straight ass white. Who taught you about spices in the celestial realm?
That's why they out. That's why he was an outcast.
Exactly.
I put salt in my grits. We put sugar. Savory, bitch.
Oh man.
I'm different. I put sugar, but I'll
you the devil. Oh,
hey, there's nothing wrong with a little sweet and savory, but he had to get them together. He was like, "Look, it's meant to be savory. Y'all just gonna haul ham and just no, it's not working that way.
It's not a dessert.
Grits is a dessert.
It's not a dessert.
Grits and
That's sugar and grits. What's wrong with you?
So you find out they're a little bit on to something, you know. You kind of wonder, like, is he, you know, in the ancestral land, you know, it's probably Killmonger over there giving Thanos, hey, oh, you here, hey.
Oh, Lord.
He running the grill. He running the grill.
Killmonger and Thanos had a cooking show.
They got the cook. Now that's the party where the uncle is, the drunk uncle is in the spades party. That's the one.
Let me tell you.
You better have the right hand. Don't play around.
Thanos, there ain't nothing wrong with barbecue canned chicken. Reality is often disappointing, isn't it, Killmonger?
Right.
Just seeing those two.
I need that what if episode. It's like nothing else is really involving. It's like it's the cookout. Like, huh?
Oh man,
cookout.
Just the cookout with former villains. Just
right.
What if Thanos threw a cookout?
Thanos threw a cookout.
Just
Who's bringing the potato salad?
Who's bringing the potato salad? Everybody looking at Loki like, you bet not.
And put no damn raisins in my face.
Loki will be the one that has to try. It's like we didn't have this cuisine on Asgard. What do you call this? Potato salad. How do you get a salad from a potato? How does that? What sorcery is this?
It's like, you know what? He's not in charge of that. You bring the ale that your daddy got. That's what you bring.
Yeah.
All the mead.
All the mead, right. That's there. Exactly. That's the what if episode we need. We need the what if episode of Cookout. So before we get out of here, what do you got going on next? You said your second book for Malkia?
Yes, my second book for Malkia is coming out in August. So really we're just promoting it. I reached out to 9B Collective as well as far as some art.
Shout out to the crew of 9B Collective.
Nice.
Absolutely. And I'm just working on using some other forms of exposure right now. So creating some AI characters for the characters. So we get a visual of what they could look like. You know, I prefer to let people read the description and come up with their own, you know, image in their mind. But I think that'll also help, you know, just to get some excitement and see these characters. That's what I was gonna say. Like one of the best, most fun parts of writing this was writing the villains part. Because the villains always have the coolest. They have the coolest lines. They have the dopest weapons. It's like the hero just pulls the wind out of their ass, but it's amazing.
They do. Like that you pull that out your ass. However, I still need that glove. I need that glove. I'm just saying. You know.
Oh man.
Then it's in a dark place. He's like 8'9", and he still just let them come in his house. But you know.
Let them run his pockets like that.
Right.
That was wild.
Like that. He was making it to Brits. But the villains always have, I think, such a point, which is why I like to call them, you know, antagonists more so than villains, because it's what makes you a good guy and what makes you a bad guy is something. It's a very thin line a lot of times.
One bad day.
One bad day, yeah.
One bad day. That's all it takes. One bad day.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it was really cool coming up with that concept as well, and writing for the villain, the protagonist and the antagonist, because it's one of those situations where you can see both of their points, both of their sides.
Yeah.
You know, and like Tarek mentioned, you know, this first book is more so about discovering herself and dealing with her own power and her own insecurities and things. And then the second book is very much focused on, now that she has these powers, what does that mean? You know, what does that mean for her personal life?
Yeah.
What does that mean for her professional life? She's a queen, but she's not. But you know, and her love life. I know there were a few people asking me about if she's gonna find, you know, that special person and things like that. And I'm like, yeah, that's later. You know, right now she's focusing on her. It's about her energy,
self-love. Okay,
self-love
it's the best love.
You know, and then our second book, she's gonna like branch out and find, you know, what love can look like for that independent, strong Black woman that we always see TV shows and books about as well. So I always find those conversations very interesting. When, you know, I'm going through my feeds and things about why the Black woman is so angry, why she needs to be more in her feminine energy, and all of these things. And you know, I'm super happy. So I'm like, I don't know about this. I don't know. Maybe they
like, who are you talking about? That's not me.
She said she just cleaned up in here. Do not mess it up. Don't ask why she angry. Y'all keep leaving food everywhere. No.
Don't leave crumbs in the bed. Like why you can't?
Right. Why you got the crumbs in bed? Ain't nobody come to see you, Otis. I'm just saying. No, this is really dope. I'm glad you shouted out 9B Collective. Shout out to Michael Wande, Phil Boutte, and Alice Hodge. Not Alice Hodge. He wasn't guest on the show, but still shout out to Alice Hodge. Right. You know, because I told her, I'm like, hey, y'all welcome back anytime. So, but yeah, shout out to them. You know, when you see people like them, you know, once again proving that, you know, here you have a Black-owned art concept company who's have their hands in a lot of media that we've watched, right, and still haven't seen yet. That's still coming out. You know,
they just dropped the Blue Beetle trailer.
Yeah, like I think the episode they were on, we were showing the new Peter Pan trailer.
Yes.
Not realizing that they worked on it. You know, so he was like, "Man, I did that a year ago. I completely forgot about that." I'm like, "Yo, wait a minute. Hold on.
I did that too."
I'm like a humble flex. This was not planned. I'm like, you know, happy accidents. So, but yeah, and I think that's dope. You know, that just says right there that, you know, one, we're all in the right camp. We're all in the right bubble of creatives who are putting out this content. Like, and it's good content. That's the thing. It's good looking content, and it's real well written content. And we don't get a lot of that from a lot of times. You know, we're learning to own it ourselves. It makes sense. And to say, hey, you know what? This studio said no, this studio said no, this studio said no. But you know what? I'm writing this, and I just have to push it out. Like Derek said,
Look like
need
Jay-Z
to
did,
change.
same thing happened with Jay-Z. He couldn't get a deal, started his own record label.
I'll never forget that interview where I think it was Michael Jackson, they had come out and like it was behind scenes. He had State Property and everybody else, and he had the most blank look. And I'm like, my man done with y'all. I don't know what y'all thinking, but he done. He's like, no, interview them. Let them.
I'm trying to figure out what did they say to Michael to have him looking like, bruh. Don't say
like Mike was like, I met with the Crips and the Bloods at the same time, and what?
But that does say something about Jay-Z though. From starting your own record label to
Jay said, you know what? I'm gonna leave y'all right here. I got to go.
Look at him now.
I got to go.
Owning his own business, his own he sold part of a streaming service, but still properties and Beyonce. That's a lot for a man that looks like Joe Camel. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, yeah, I'm just saying.
Every time I look at him, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to make fun of Jay-Z, but every time I see him, I just think of the smoke. I just think of that little pack of smoke with the camel on it, and that one camel is always doing the coolest shit. Y'all go there and tell me it ain't Jay-Z. That's all I'm saying.
Jay did his move. He made his move. He was like, you know what?
Hey, he got Beyonce. Okay?
He got Beyonce. He walked out.
That's not a.
My man is winning. That's what he's doing. He's winning.
It is no shade on Jay-Z whatsoever because the Black Album is still one of my favorite albums. So still,
definitely.
But Joe Kendrick.
Why I was playing that all this week, besides Kendrick. Yeah. So Shakirah, tell everybody, where can they find you?
So you can find me on Instagram. My handle is right up there at Shakirah_IG, which will link you to my other Instagram account, which is my business account, Lioness Entertainment LLC. My personal one, I have everything up there. I also do a lot of fitness, so I have like hula hoop videos up there.
She has her merchandise.
My merchandise is up there because I work out on a lot of my own merchandise. We're actually wearing
some of the t-shirts.
Flex.
Merchandise.
They have the Mel Brooks handbook right there next to them.
Yes. But yeah, we're just those are my two main handles. I'm also on Facebook, Lioness Entertainment LLC. I have a page on Facebook as well. And you can check out my books on Amazon. They're all available on Amazon. My author page has a list of collections of other books that I've done as well. I was trying to do pre-orders for, I'm just going to be very transparent right now. I was trying to do pre-orders for my second book, completely jacked that up on Amazon. Amazon is not being very user-friendly to me right now. And so the situation
it sounds like one of our people who's tech savvy might want to start something for those who out there listening.
Perhaps
be the change that we need.
Be the change that you want to see.
Right.
Be the change that you want to see.
Kind of like a Sunday sermon. Who feels like they've been burdened with glorious purpose tonight? Who feels like they've been burdened? Come on up to the altar now.
You need
testify,
right? They doing all types of stuff. They're saying, hey, I ain't ready for that action. No, you gonna come get this.
Let the Lord speak to your heart tonight.
They said that person saying right now, don't you put that on us.
But she's being very modest. Like she has a lot of things that she wants to get into. But I'm like, look, one at a time. Let's just focus on, because we have a lot of things coming up these next couple of years and everything. She's gonna be filming my cooking show.
Look at that.
You
had me a food. Go ahead.
We got food, we got drinks, we got everything. So
no Malort.
No, right.
No Malort.
No,
no Everclear, no Malort. I'm just saying, those two on the shelves.
Everclear will have you walking with deer.
But there was a question that you asked on the last show. Like you said, where do you see Malkia going? you know, and I told her she didn't say everything that we discuss here in the house, you know. I'll be asking her, I'm like, look, so who you want to do the movie, or what do you want? You want a movie? You want a show? You want to animate it? What do you want? Who do you want to do it? Netflix? Who you want to go to? You know,
not going to Max. That's for
yeah.
sure.
I would say HBOMAX, but it's not.
Don't do that now.
I mean,
they ain't got their stuff figured out yet.
Max is that Tyler Perry character you gotta avoid right now.
All right.
But
Mr.
you know,
Brown with the paint on
things, with Malkia that we would definitely like to do, because you know, like you said, we need that representation out there and stuff like that. And you know, we need it on all the platforms. But not everybody reads, you know what I'm saying? You know, so you know, we definitely want to do the audiobook. And you know, if it picks up as a show or as a movie, you know, we're here for it. You know, she has a couple other books, you know.
Why you say it like that?
Oh,
that she's working on.
That felt like a discussion. That felt like a discussion. Like
it's an ongoing discussion. She has a couple other books that she was supposed to finish before she started the the sequel to Malkia. Because I told her it would be such
not you being held accountable.
Lord, well, we got to do that for our people.
I mean,
I'm trying to. They over the weekend at the book signing, they called me the husbander. So you know, I'm her manager and husband. I'm her husbander. So
he doing his role. I didn't mark you. Do your role. That's the support role. I dig that.
That's why you picked him.
Yeah.
And
yes, because my memory is jacked. So it's like, what
her mind is all over the place. You know, it's like a big ball of yarn, and it's my job to kind of like untangle it and unravel.
You gotta keep on the path. Like you gotta keep on the path. Like look, we sticking with this book.
Okay, yeah.
All right. This side, and we stick with this book.
Right. Now, before you go taking on this extra big project, let's finish these little projects that you started, 3 years ago, and get that knocked out. Then we'll take on big things and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a couple more books, and
so
a lot going on.
First
that's
off,
love though. That's love.
Yeah. First off, to the both of you,
because
both of you.
like she was saying, like
I like the whole husbander.
So I told her, I was like, it's going to be a movie. Okay, it's not what if and stuff like that.
Speaking of life,
I'm working on the soundtrack for it already.
There you go.
That's already gonna happen.
All right.
So
that's what's up.
I think that.
Lady Mandalore, what do you got?
Oh Lord. Oh. I have I have absolutely nothing coming up. I am not a writer. I am a promoter of people and things that I find interesting and intriguing and deserve more placement at the front of everything. Doing what I can. But you can find me on Instagram at Roomful of Blurs. You can find me on TikTok as Child of Mandalore, because I have a podcast called Child of Mandalore, where I speak about the history of the Mandalorians. There are a lot of clues that people are not picking up on. And if you just listen to maybe, I don't know, the first episode of my podcast, you would see where we are going. This is why this entire season is so important right now. Anyway, I also have a chat room on Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on an app called Fanbase. I basically allow anybody and everybody into my room, and we talk about all things that have happened in the week, pop culture, things that happen at your job that just correlate into that. Yeah, we go off. Yeah, follow me on Instagram. Follow me on. Don't follow me on. If you can find me on Twitter, good luck. I don't be on there. But yeah, outside of that, yeah, come on.
Black Fox. Let's wrap it up, and then I'm going in.
Oh dear God, Kieran, you are a national treasure. That being said, guys, I am Black Spartan, and yes, the helmet is coming. I just have to go pick it up. I can't wait to actually try it on. It's gonna be awesome. But yes, on social media, Black Fox 447 is where you can find me. I usually do reviews on everything that I read. Much like Case and Present Company's book, which I gave a review on. If you want to know my review on it, definitely go to the IG page. I thought it was absolutely lovely. It was absolutely lovely. Aside from that, guys, aside from that, I do have a couple podcasts of my own. I do have my political news show called How the Frack We Got Here every Wednesday and Saturday on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. I also have a video game podcast called Get Bit Podcast with my co-host Joe Tonello. Also every Friday on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. I am one of the many heads of the Legion under the Blurred's Eye View writing group for my contributions to wrestling. Why? Because wrestling is real and people are fake. Shout out to Mr. Kennedy for that one. Outside of that, guys, the biggest thing I want to say this year is, again, we need to be more about supporting each other, congratulating each other, basically pushing each other. Because why? It takes less energy to say congratulations, but it takes 100% energy to remain salty. And at the same time, that person is still doing better than you, and you need to find a glass of water. That being said, I am a social person. I have no problem talking with anyone. I only have one rule. Don't be a dick, and we'll all be cool.
Oh, shit. I forgot.
What happened?
Okay, because I'm pressed for time.
Yep. Okay. I forgot I have a podcast. It's also called Roomful of Birds. It's on YouTube. Okay, bye.
All right. So you can catch us everywhere on IG. Just go to the IG page.
Yes.
Go to IG Blurred's Eye View there. You go to the link tree in the bio. You can catch us on Opulence Radio because now you can see us on or listen to us on Thursday nights as well. You can go to FB or the Facebook page, Blurred's Eye View Podcast, and Twitch, Blurred's Eye View 1. You can catch us everywhere, including Always Press Record. There we go, right there. Always Press Record on Roku and Amazon Fire. But thank you to our guests once again, the Gatlings. They do their thing. They're doing their thing. They're staying in the group chats. They show love. I know it's saying face heart, red heart, face heart, happy face. But until then, we'll see us Tuesday. Thank you for tuning in. We're pushing time today, but that's okay. We'll see us Tuesday. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Remember to educate yourself and others, entertain yourself and others, and most of all, encourage yourself and others. Thank you to the crew. We will see you Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. See ya.
Bye.